everybody, and welcome to the 21st episode of the Round Rabbit podcast. My name is Nancy, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Round Rabbit, and you can shop for my handmade wares in roundrabbitextra.bigcartel.com. And you can also join my Ravelry group, Round Rabbit, which is not active at all, and I haven't even looked at in about a month. But you can join anyway. It'll be worth it. So it's been a really long time since I have podcasted. I think it's been at least 5 or 6 weeks, maybe something like that. I wish I had some fantastic story to tell you as to why I have not been here. But I don't. I really don't. I just wasn't in the mood. I think it's quite that simple. I just wasn't feeling it. Every week would come along and I'd just be like, I just don't feel like it. So I've been keeping busy. I haven't been doing a lot of knitting, but I have been doing a lot of sewing. I have also started crochet, which I will tell you about in a little bit. I've been doing a lot of bird watching, and I've been attending some gardening seminars, and I'm really looking forward to the weather warming up so I can get outside and actually do some things out in my yard. My yard is a mess. So anyway, looking forward to that. But that's about all I've been doing for these past weeks when I have not been podcasting. It feels kind of weird right now to be doing it, and I'm a little distracted by the fact that I'm reversed. I updated my app that I film my podcast on, and it is now backwards, even though I'm pretty sure the final result is not backwards. It is right now, and it's really strange. So I'll try not to look in the wrong spot, like over here, too much, but it looks really weird. I have to get used to that. Wine. Today's wine. Yay. Today I am drinking a rosé. I always think of spring as rosé season because around here, in the Finger Lakes of New York, all the wineries have been releasing their new rosés. I'm going to lose my voice a little bit. I don't know why that is. It's just today. I think it's allergy season. So, anyway, rosés. It's rosé season, and I love rosé. It's one of my favorite wines, and this one in particular is one of my favorites of all time. It's Kelby James Russell Dry Rosé. Kelby is the winemaker at Red Newt Winery, which is here in Hector, where I live. And he has this on his own label. And it's so good. It's actually been rated as one of the top 10 rosés in the world at different times. So, and it's not like I've tasted all the rosés in the world, but I'll say his is pretty damn good. So this is from 2015 vintage, and I had a couple bottles stashed away that I forgot about and realized the new vintage is coming out any day now, and I should probably drink this because that's what it's for. Why hold on to it? So, it's delicious, as usual. Let's see, what can I talk about today? I tried to make notes. I'm looking at them. Can't read my handwriting. I guess I will start with knitting and the fact that I have not really been knitting at all. I worked a tiny amount on my birthday socks, which were started in January, as some of you may recall. I don't know, just haven't been in the mood. I've wanted to do other things, and, that's normal. It comes and goes, so I am anxious to start working on all my many languishing whips. I just call them whips. I hate calling them whips. It just bugs me. I'm not an abbreviator. All my works in progress that are languishing around I've got a big old bag of them. I can see them right here, and they're just mocking me from across the room. So I do want to work on them. Knitting is not going away. It's just, I just haven't been in the mood for it. I've been more interested in sewing. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk about all that. But to refresh your memory, because I'm sure you're just dying for a refresher of my latest pair of socks. I am working on, oops, I'm a little tangled up here. I'm working on I believe they're called the Fidget Sock. And I can't remember who the pattern is by. I want to say Amy Swenson. I could be off or I could be right. I'll let you know. I'll write it down below. But yeah, so here I am. I've completed the cuff. You can see this really cool pattern. I think it looks really awesome in this yarn, which is from On the Round in the Aquarius colorway. And I'm ready to do the heel, and that's where I stopped many weeks ago. So any day now, I'm just going to leap into action and finish this sock. Maybe. We'll see. So yeah, that's it for knitting. I have been learning to crochet, and I can tell you a kind of interesting story as to why I am doing that. I used to crochet. I mean, I knew how to crochet years ago. I wouldn't say that I did crochet. I learned how to crochet. I made a few things. I can't say that I have ever totally loved crocheting. I think that's probably why I didn't stick with it. I don't know. I guess I just don't care for the look of it. Some things I do. There are some patterns and projects that I love and I think are beautiful. But I don't know. Crochet just doesn't float my boat like knitting does. So anywho, some of you may be aware of the fact that I am very interested in craftivism, which is a way of doing mindful, thoughtful, quiet protest. And some of the issues that are most important to me are women's issues. And I saw an opportunity last month come up that I just couldn't pass by. And it was a local, fairly local arts center in Auburn, New York, which is about, I think about an hour from here. And it was looking for volunteers to help crochet a public art piece that is being curated by the artist Olek. Olek is a Polish artist who now lives in New York City, and she has done some really wonderful public works of art that all involve crochet and are centered around women's issues. So the project for Auburn, New York, is to make a large portrait of Harriet Tubman, who lived the second half of her life in Auburn. If you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, I do encourage you to Google her. She was really quite a remarkable woman. Yeah, in so many ways, just an incredible person. I won't go into it too much right now, but anyway, me and my friends Jessie and Heidi set out to Auburn several weeks ago to learn how to crochet so that we could be a part of this project. And I will say it didn't come naturally. It was not like riding a bike, even though I had done this before. Yeah, it felt really, really weird and foreign and very uncomfortable. And during the workshop, I learned the basics. Some very lovely volunteers were helping those of us who did not know what we were doing. And got the basics down, but I knew that I needed to be home, kind of in my own environment, to really get the hang of it. And that's exactly what happened. I came home and had some wine and loosened up, and it finally clicked. And I don't have the piece here. I've already sent it off. The deadline was a couple days ago. And all I had to do, because I'm not advanced in crochet, so all I had was one solid pink square, 2 foot by 2 foot square that I had to crochet. And I finished it and sent it off. And I can honestly say that when I was done with that, I didn't have a whole lot of desire to ever crochet again in my whole life. It just does not appeal to me. It was also very uncomfortable for me. I have a lot of hand problems, and if you are familiar with me, you will know that is why I loom knit and not needle knit, because I get terrible hand cramps. So it was no different with crochet, especially doing the same thing. It was just a double crochet square over and over and over again, and it was not comfortable. I was really happy when it was done. But I figured that since I did relearn how to do something, I should try to find something of interest in the world of crochet. So I started looking around, and one thing that caught my eye that I thought would be really fun and pretty to make are the African flower motif, which you may be familiar with if you're into crochet at all. And what it is, it's basically, usually you use 4 different colors in this motif. But I did not do that because I had an idea in my head and I don't know, just wanted to do that. But what I learned, it's not easy to do African flowers in one color or in a yarn that is like fuzzy and nubby and very difficult to see. Anyway, so of course I chose Noro because I choose Noro for everything, even though it makes life difficult at times. And this was no different. So here's one of my African flowers. I've got a rabbit attacking me now. I'm just going to have to give her a treat real quick and hope that she goes away. Here you go, baby. Oh, she's so stinking cute. So I used Noro because I loved the idea of each one being different, all coming from one skein of yarn, and they are. So, here's just a few of the examples of the different colors that came out of one skein. So they're pretty, right? The one good thing, here, I'll give you a big old close-up there. The one good thing about using this yarn and the fact that it's fuzzy and you can't really see things very well is that you cannot see mistakes. And believe me, there are like 7,000 mistakes in each one of these, if that's even possible, but there are. I've made, I think I have 12 of these now. And this used almost entirely 2 skeins of Noro Silk Garden, which is what I was using. So this is Silk Garden Solo in charcoal. I forget how many there's, 50 grams, 100 meters in one of these. So 2 of these only makes 12 of these guys. I mean, this is all I had left right here. This is it. And that's not enough to finish one. So, that's annoying to me. The fact that crochet takes so much yarn to achieve not a whole lot, I don't know, that kind of irks me for some reason. That's totally irrational. But, that's how I roll. So, I refuse to buy more yarn for this. So, my plan for these was to make a bag. I want to make a purse with them. And I'm still going to, but it's going to be funky. We'll just put it that way. I'm not entirely sure how I'm doing it yet, but I'm using a sewing pattern and I'm going to integrate these pieces into that. I've also done a few, so here's just one in one color. This is in Madeline Tosh Vintage in Jade colorway. I have a lot of this. I've used this quite a lot on many things because to me this is like the perfect green. I love it. I can see how white my forehead is right now. The sun is like beaming through the windows. Anyway, that's my crochet experience so far. I've been using this beautiful hook on these. This is a 3.5 millimeter and E hook. These are made by Brittany Hooks. And I've been collecting these over the years. I just kind of buy them as I need a different size. Mostly because they're beautiful. And, you know, that's what it's all about. You gotta look good while you're doing things, right? I tried to learn when I was learning at the workshop for the public art piece. I was using a larger hook. And it was very awkward. It added to my frustration because wood is not, until it's really broken in, it's not very smooth. It can be a little grippy on the yarn. But I was very stubborn and determined to use it because this is what I have. I have an inexpensive set with rubber handles that are supposedly more comfortable, which I did switch to. After going back to this, I don't think the others are more comfortable. And these aren't so bad. They're not. I'm going to use them because they're pretty. I mean, look at that top. Isn't that beautiful? I'll put it right over my face. There we go. Or in my hair. There we go. Now you can see it. Yeah, that's pretty. So yes, I recommend them. Why not? What else am I going to recommend? I haven't used anything else. Oh, Bunny. Bunny's just staring me down right now. This little rabbit, my little Finch bunny, has not been a very healthy bunny. I'm going to have to give her another treat. She has a chronic cold problem that no one seems to be able to figure out. There you go. And every now and then she gets really, really droopy and she stops eating. And I always, of course, think the worst because she is an older rabbit and rabbits can very quickly go downhill. So over the last several weeks, she's kind of scared me a few times. And I just stay right by her and feed her constantly. Any chance she opens her mouth, I'm putting food in it. And then she rallies and she's great the next day and she's hopping around and she's good right now. So I don't know. It's just what happens when bunnies get older. So she's so damn cute though. I can't take it. Anyway, that is my crochet odyssey. Not much of an odyssey really. It's kind of a downer. But yeah, I don't know. Like if you're a big fan of crochet, tell me why you like it so much. I mean, this is pretty. I like this. I don't know what it is. And they're kind of fun to make. It's not that I don't enjoy the process at all. I don't know. It just doesn't like totally freak me out like knitting does. I don't know what that is. I mean, I see people making these beautiful crocheted blankets, and as much as I do like the finished result, the thought of making them kind of gives me a giant headache. Like I just don't want to do it. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found that perfect project yet, but I mean, I don't like to if I've learned a skill, I want to keep at it. I don't want to let that just go away. So I will probably keep finding things that's stupid, right? If you don't like it, you don't like it. Why make yourself do it? I don't know. What the hell am I talking about? Anyway, I'm going to pet a bunny right now. And that's not anything dirty. You're so cute, little thing. Oh my God, she's so adorable. I wish I could pick her up without her freaking out. She doesn't appreciate being picked up. But trust me when I say she's just the cutest little thing ever. There you go. Okay. I don't think she's going to leave me alone. On to other things. Punch needle. I haven't been doing that either. What have I been doing? I don't know. last time I podcasted, I think I showed you what I was starting, and it was the second piece to this pattern. Get the glare out of there. This is the Reverend and Mrs. Potter. This is a pattern by Not Forgotten Farm. And I did the Reverend first. Some of you may recall I went off the pattern a tiny bit and just added a rainbow in the background. So this is as far I have. Mrs. Potter the silhouette is complete. You can see that up close. This is my back. And all I have to do is the rainbow background, which really is not going to take me that long. I could just do that in one sitting, and I just haven't done it. But I will. I will. I haven't abandoned punch needle at all. In fact, I have quite a few ideas floating around that I want to do, some of my own pattern ideas. I was also gifted some wonderful yarn by my friend Andy from Andre Sue Knits, and it was just such a generous and wonderful thing to get in the mail, was some beautiful yarn from her that she was downsizing. She's trying to focus more on dyeing her yarn and clearing out her space a little bit. And she just so generously sent me a whole bunch of Knit Picks palette yarn, which works fantastic for punch needle. So I've got some ideas for using that, and yeah, hopefully I'll show that to you soon as I get going on that. Oh, this, you don't even know the pressure I'm feeling right now with a rabbit staring at me. She's just sitting there staring at me. I think I've talked about this before, but she's getting to me. She doesn't even have to she can't speak. She's just staring at me, and she's so stinking cute. Oh, and now she's cleaning her ears, which is ridiculously cute. Yeah, I'm a wuss. Okay, sewing. That's what I've been doing. I have been sewing like crazy. Well, not really like crazy. I mean, I don't do anything like crazy, right? Moderation, that's my middle name. So I'm wearing something that I made recently. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen this. This is my latest version of the Painted Portrait Dress by Anna Maria Horner. Horner, my voice just cracked there. I'm not going through puberty. I don't know how well you can see this because this is very white and glary, but this is just a great pattern, and I have made this before. I made a blouse version. You may recall it had the fabric of Chipper with a little chipmunk up here, so I did this. Let's get the hair out of the way. This panel right here was in a different fabric, and the rest of the shirt was a solid color. This time I made the whole thing out of one fabric. I love this fabric. I will stand up and get it right in your face and show you exactly how much I love it. See how pretty this is? Isn't that gorgeous? It's just this, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's this beautiful indigo blue. So I'm probably I'm gonna push the camera back a bit so that you can see. Here we are. My head is still chopped off, but you can see the dress. It's got these really nice little pleats, little gathers in the front, and also in the back it gathers as well. I don't know if you can see how long it is. I'm wearing just jeans and boots, obviously, with this. But it's long enough that I could just wear tights with it or leggings if I wanted to. Originally, I was thinking of shortening it a little bit because it seemed kind of long, but I don't know. I love it now, and I've been pretty much wearing it every day, and it's kind of weird for me to. I'll just do this for a little while. All right, I'm gonna move the camera back. Okay, I think I'm back in order now. Yeah, so what can I tell you about this pattern? A lot of people had a lot of questions about this. I love this pattern. I did change a few things on this, and it's just because they drove me crazy. They will not drive normal people crazy. There is a big, so this front piece, it's kind of hard to see because it's all the same fabric, but the front piece, which is this, and there's also a back piece. You make a front and back facing, which is exactly the same size, and you are supposed to sew that down inside. That drives me insane. I don't like the bulkiness of having 2 layers of fabric on top. And getting it to lay smoothly is a giant pain in the ass for me. So I got rid of it, and I just did I did a bias. I don't know if you can see that. I did a bias tape binding there. All of my raw edges, so along the front here is where it's all gathered, and that facing is supposed to kind of cover up your seams a bit. I went back and just zigzagged those edges. I don't have a serger, so that is what I did. And just left them. I don't mind them at all. The next time I make this, I'm probably going to do French seams everywhere I possibly can. Which is, you can do quite a few. And everything else I will just zigzag or pink or something along those lines. I also had to take it up in the shoulders because of the way I am built. I usually have to make a bigger size to accommodate the bust area, which means everything else is just way too big. Because I'm not very big in other places, so I have to take it into the shoulders a little bit, but that's not a big deal. Other than that, that was it. The hem and the sleeves, I can show you the sleeves. You can see I used a bias tape on the sleeve. That is actually what the pattern calls for. She has you cut bias strips, and you use those on the hem and the sleeve. I don't feel that is entirely necessary at all. In fact, for the hem, I just folded it twice and sewed it. I think it would depend on your fabric. If you maybe want a little extra weight, if it's a flowy fabric or something that you want to weigh down a little bit more, I could see using a bias strip added to the hem. Otherwise, for me, I don't really see the point in that. So I did do it on the sleeves, and I did do it on the first blouse that I made, and that was when I realized I don't really need to do this. So anyway, it's up to you. You can do what you want to do. But this is a great pattern. I really do recommend this. If you like tunic length things, this is, and that's kind of my favorite thing right now. I would definitely recommend it. It's great for using, like in this example, every piece is a different fabric. You do not have to do that if you don't want to. Obviously, this is a sleeveless version and with pockets, but you can, I don't know if you can see that at all. I think that's totally washing out. Anyway, there's a shorter blouse version. There's a sleeveless version. There's pockets. There's no pockets. There's a pieced front. You can do this piece like a quilt. It has different strips of fabric. That's really cool as well. So yeah, I would say go for it if you're a sewer. If you're a beginning sewer, I think you could do this. Just pay attention to what you're doing. A lot of the things that I did in this pattern, I did without reading the directions just because I've made a lot of things in the past. When I did read the directions, they weren't always super clear. So if you are a beginner, it might not be entirely a piece of cake to make. But I think if you go slow, I don't know, I think you should be able to do it. It's really not a difficult pattern at all. Yeah, and I definitely recommend it. If you're afraid of setting sleeves in, make the sleeveless version. There you go, right? Avoid that altogether. But yes, Anna Maria Horner painted portrait dress and blouse pattern. Totally recommend it. You can get it on her website, which I'm pretty sure is annamariahorner.com. something like that. Yeah, I think. So that's my tunic story. I have another piece that I was going to show you until I realized that I had dribbled red wine all down the front of it yesterday when I wore it to a bridal shower. So I was ironing it to put on a hanger and show you, and I was like, oh, well, look at that. Like, typical me, missed my mouth entirely, and it landed on my new little dress. So I will be cleaning that this week, and I will show that next week. But what it is, and I've made it before. Actually, I think it was just in my last podcast, I wore one, and I made another one. So this is a Dottie Angel frock from Simplicity. It is Simplicity 1080. And I did this version here, if you can see that at all, which is what I did before. And I still just love that pattern. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to keep making them over and over again. Yeah. So that's my tunic frock story. Let's see here. I have quite a few bags to show you, project bags. That's what I've been really working on quite a bit. All of these things I placed in the store yesterday. First up, I got this wonderful skull fabric, I don't know, a month ago or so. I actually had my friend David from the David Dog Dare podcast in mind when I saw it. I know he likes kind of creepy things like I do. And I wanted to make him a little something. So I ordered this fabric and I have a little left over. So I used it up in these bags. And this is the first bag. So here's the creepy skull fabric. Isn't that cool? It's like all sketchy and just neat looking. And I made it all sunshine and happy with some rainbow dots. Because, as I said on Instagram, nothing says spring like skulls and rainbows. So anyway, this is like a really nice, big, deep bag. Purple lining. Nice and squishy because I always use fleece interfacing. That is my favorite thing. So, yeah, that's a big size. And then I have a couple of these little guys, which are really cute. They're just small versions. You can see the size difference. So, I mean, you could probably use this as a sock project bag. That one's got yellow inside. So, yeah, I've got two of those. One of these is actually a little bit cheaper than the other because I did not get my side seam matched up. I don't know how that happened, and that drives me crazy. So that's a couple dollars cheaper because it's going to make me crazy. And then the other skull bag I made, actually this was the first one I made, is this. And what I did is the bottom part here is just this fabric in reverse, which I thought made kind of a neat ghostly complement to the other one. So this is a good medium-sized bag. Pink lining. These can all be found in my shop, which is roundrabbitextra.bigcartel.com. I kind of forget to mention that sometimes, and I get a lot of messages from people like, where do we find these things? You never said. Like, yeah, that's pretty typical of me. Next up are some very springy, light colors. I hope that's not too washed out. Seems kind of washed out. These are just these pretty, I had this beautiful sample pieces of fabric that were in these like really nice, bright, watercolor fabrics. And, so yeah, I got a couple of those. I have two of that particular one. They're pretty much the same. And then there is a blue version, which is also pretty. It has like lemons on it and fruity type things. And I have two of these as well. And then lastly, I have some really pretty, these are my favorite. I just love these. I have this beautiful linen that I decided to pair with some pieced work. So all of this is just scraps that I pieced together and paired with this beautiful indigo linen. It just, oh, it feels so nice. And this is a really nice big sized bag. This is like monster big bag. I have that one, and then I did a smaller version with just one strip of pieced work. You can see my shirt in here that I'm wearing. It's right there. Yay. Yeah. So there's that size. And that's it for the bags. So all of those can be found in my shop, roundrabbitextra.bigcartel.com. And here's something. So this is what, when I said I wanted to make my friend David something, this is what I made him. This was, I sent him one already, but this is similar to what I made him. So this is actually a notebook cover, and it has pockets inside on both sides. Yeah, and it also has a pocket. This is a pocket in the front here. And they're quilted and they're kind of squishy and fun. And I don't know, I made him one and then I thought, well, they're kind of cool. I made myself one that I've been using quite a lot. And so I have this one. I haven't put this in the shop yet. I'm trying to figure out how to price this because they're actually quite time consuming. So it's one of those things that's like, I don't know if people are going to be interested in paying enough for it. So I have to think about it. So let me know if you think that these are cool. And I will make more and try to come up with a good fair price for them that is not horrific, which I think I can do. Maybe. We'll see. Alrighty, let's see. Okay, a couple things I wanted to mention. First of all, the bags that I made my linen with, or yeah, whatever I'm trying to say. These bags, they have linen. I received this linen in a parcel that contained a whole bunch of pieces of linen along with other fabrics. I think I got some canvas, anyway, it was quite a lot of fabric in a box, and I got it for free. I got it for the price of shipping, and the reason it was free is because there is a new app called Squirrels. Let me get this right. It's spelled Squirrelz. Squirrels. And what it is basically a craft sewing supply sharing app. And if you have things laying around that you want to get rid of for free, you can list them, you post pictures, and you can tell people if it's for pickup only, or you can ship them to people. And that's all that anybody pays is the cost of shipping. It's just a way to get rid of things and know that it might be going to someone that's going to actually use it. It's not going to go into the landfill. It's a really great, I think it's a tremendous app, and I sounded like Donald Trump just then. My apologies. It's a tremendous app. It's a fantastic app. It's huge. Anyway, yeah. So it's a new app, and there are only a few people that have been contributing to it thus far. So I'm trying to get the word out. I do plan on posting things on this app myself to get rid of, to downsize a little bit. The creator is a really sweet woman named Bunny, and that alone is reason why you should see her app, because she is named Bunny. Anyone named Bunny is perfect in my book. So I also hope to have Bunny on the podcast. I'm looking into how I can interview people from afar. She's in New York City, so it's not like she's going to come on over and podcast with me. But if I can figure out how to do that kind of an interview and the quality is decent, I'm going to be doing that. I'd like to interview more people and have other people on the podcast as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But for now, check out the Squirrels app. It's a free app. And, see if there's anything on there that floats your boat and give it a try. Go for it. I was really happy with the things that I got. The linen was beautiful. I've still got a lot of it that I'm going to be using. So yeah, check it out. Let's see, what time am I? I'm at 41. I was going to do an iron review. I got a new iron and I'm a little excited about it, but I think I will save it for next time because I could talk about irons for a long time and that's just kind of ridiculous. And we'll save that fun adventure for the next podcast. But for now, I'm looking at my notes in case you can't see. It just looks weird, I know. Podcasts. Let me mention some podcasts. So I can say with all honesty, I have not watched one knitting podcast in over a month. I don't think I've watched any at all. What I have been watching is sewing podcasts, and there is one crochet podcast because I was trying to learn. So I will mention her first. That is the Bella Coco podcast. If you are a crocheter, I'm sure you're familiar with her podcasts. I found them incredibly helpful for learning crochet. It was her videos that I learned the African flower motif through. She is very easy to understand. She talks slowly. You can just kind of do it in real time with her. So I do recommend that highly if you're not already familiar with her and you're trying to crochet. Totally check out Bella Coco. Okay, moving on. I have 3 sewing podcasts that I have been enjoying. The first one is Judith D. She is a lovely woman. I'm not quite sure where she is in the world. She has a wonderful accent. I have no idea where she is from. I found her because I was looking up a particular book I was interested in buying on dressmaking, and she did a review of that book, and that is how I found her. And she's quite a prolific sewer. She makes beautiful things, does good reviews of patterns. So if you are into sewing garments at all, I would definitely check her out. I really enjoy her quite a bit. I feel like I'm rushing now, and I don't know why. There's no need. Okay, next podcast. I think I've mentioned her before. I've been watching her for quite a long time. I think since she began, is Gabadashery with Gabby, who also is a knitter, so she does incorporate knitting into her podcast now and then, but it's mostly sewing. She's just a real delight to watch. I absolutely love her. She is British. She's got wonderful, eccentric taste, very bright colors, fun hair. Just really like a totally cool person. And yeah, I love listening to her. I love seeing what she makes. I love her fabric choices, which are usually bold and amazing. And she totally rocks it. So please check out Gabby of Gabadashery. She's awesome. And the final one is one that I actually just found this morning called The Fold Line. And I saw it hosted by Kate. I think there may, in fact, be another person that occasionally does podcasts as well. I don't know if you call them podcasts. They're videos. But the ones I watched are with Kate. And she does reviews of new released patterns. They seem to be mostly like indie designers. So she gives great reviews of those things. She talks about fashion trends. Anything to do with garment sewing. More of that. Obviously, you can tell where my brain has been lately. I've just been, I don't know, making clothes, I guess, or wanting to make clothes, or watching other people make clothes. It's almost as fun as making your own. So yeah, check out that podcast. It is the Fold Line. Fold Line. I can't speak properly. I think that is it for today. I've rambled for 45 minutes. We'll see if I can cut that down a little bit. So, yeah, I apologize if this was really weird and strange and seemed like it was my first time podcasting, because it kind of feels like it was. But I hope to be back next week. I feel that I'm out of my strange little self-imposed exile from podcasting, and I will try to get motivated and have some knitting to show you and more sewing and whatnot. But yeah, for now, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Round Rabbit. Join my Ravelry group, the Round Rabbit Podcast. And you can shop for my bags at roundrabbitextra.bigcartel.com. So that'll do it for today. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.